So then, modern dragon calling rituals and rites. Well, it would seem that modern fantasy has probably had somewhat of a mutually contributive relationship with the kind of work that's done today. In Dungeons and Dragons, you've got scepters and artifacts made from gold and rubies that attract and call dragon energy. There's the Latin jargon that appears in the motion picture Dragon Slayer, also gracing the pages of Douglas Monroe's 21 Lessons of Merlin. And that version can be translated to reveal a very flat, trivial statement about a dragon hiding in some rocks. It's possible the old chants incantation sometimes meant very little. You think of incantations like Hocus Pocus, which later becomes Hockety Pockety and Hokey Pokey, Abracadabra, Abracadabra, Alakazam. Most practitioners usually utter these words without really investigating into the potential meanings. So then, we got dragon calling, and they can be summoned, and then there's the alchemical formations on the astral plane. However, if you wish to call draconic energy, concentrate in a physical locale, then a certain process must be involved. The nemeton must be made to vibrate a current of energy that is harmonious with what you want to attract. Some good examples. Ooh, there we go. It's even though there's elemental dragons as a whole, the system seems to be aligned to the element of fire. So in raising energy, that is kind of the elemental track that we're going down, and it does have a subordinate affinity to air. To first, though, attract draconian energy, you're going to want to not only adjust your internal vibrations, but also the external, and vice versa. It's what we have to go back to as far as the Be a Wizard series, as far as the nemeton and the microcosm, macrocosm. So you're trying to attract energy, and first and foremost, you vibrate this from yourself. It's kind of fun to call this exercise, almost like the dragon's breath, just because of some of the associations with that and the charm of making. But go to your nemeton, and preferably a stone circle if possible, and speak thrice the charm of making, and quad breathing, or fourfold breath is recommended, where you're going to breathe in, counting to 4, and hold, counting 4, out, counting 4, hold, counting 4. But when you're going to do this, you're going to be quote-unquote pour breathing. You're going to want to breathe in fire elemental energy as you do this, and you feel it stream to your entire being, emanating out through your aura, and then also charging the space that occupies the nemeton. And then by taking this into yourself, you can project it outwardly. The dragon's eye we talked about, and that should also be present as a symbol etched on the ground or on a cloth that you're going to use. And again, these components, we'll put them back up here. These common components, you know, iron and gold being present, dragon's blood, incense, smoking. You're trying to raise the alliance with the draconic energy. So, some fanciful names for the draconian energy that you can use or chant or whatnot as part of your system. And then also, this would be the Latin that we find transcribed from the phonetics as it has been heard and seen and found. Since we're doing some follow-ups on the charms of making later on, it would be also interesting if anyone has the original novel that goes with the Dragon Slayer movie, because that author, I no longer have my copy, but that author presented a different version of the incantation spoken in the movie. It was actually a much more prolonged and eloquent Latin verse that would be interesting to compare in our analysis. And then of course here we have just a kind of flat statement. In doing this, one of the common suggestions that I find mainly from Douglas Monroe's tradition is the use also of the earth as the body of the dragon and the piercing of the body with the sword, and raising the sword with both hands upward to, with both hands with the sword pointed down. If you have familiarity with the tarot symbolism, it represents the Ace of Swords, or the Sword of Truth, and then similar to the Watcher ceremony from the Necronomicon, the sword is thrust into the ground and then removed from the ground to extinguish the energies.